What is up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast, the Weeb Squad podcast. I'm your boy Tyro.
And I'm chilling over here. I'm new to the podcast, and NightWing.
I am Potato Nick. Not really. The king is back. It's me, He-Man. How's it going, folks?
It's your boy, Potato, the entire development team of Left 4 Dead 2 here.
All right, welcome back to the podcast. I know you missed us. Know the long wait coming, but I promise you guys we got lots in store this go around. And thanks for tuning in.
What do you mean, Tyro? It's only been a week.
Oh, true.
Only a week has passed.
Yeah.
Shout out to our one fan, Mobilis. I know you're going to be excited.
All right. Well, let's get into it. So it's the end of the year, and as everyone knows, lots of stuff has happened this year, and we're going to reflect back on this year and give our top fives, kind of like we did last year, except this will be the first episode of this brand of podcast. But whatever. We're going to have fun. Hope you guys have fun hearing us, what we say. So, without further ado, I'm going to introduce, we're going to start off with the top 5 things that all of us did here in 2017. Anyone want to go first? Anyone?
I'll hit it off. Why not? Good old He-Man stories.
Hey.
All right, I know I have my infamous wagey stories, but I have actually a story about that. Currently, I don't have a job.
Oh.
Now, hear me out. It's not a bad thing. I'm gonna call it I'm hired, but I won't start working till after the holidays because I found a new job. My last job I always talked about kind of took a turn for the worse. It's not like I was a bad employee. It's just that my employers didn't treat me right. So, I didn't feel right being there. So I found a new place with also, better benefits, better work environment, pay, not as good pay, but it's still up there. I'm a lot happier with this place. It's a lot cleaner, nicer people, small team, family environment. That's what I love.
That's good. You gotta love what you do.
Oh yeah. Also, my relationship with my last girl ended. I don't know. I don't think I was dating her when we had the podcast. But anyways, I had a relationship for a little. It was fun. Things didn't work out, but now I actually have a new lady that I'm official with as of today.
Ooh.
So not to date this podcast, but 12/27/2017, I now have a new happy relationship, and she actually accepts my body pillows.
Oh,
That's another thing.
That's
That's
always
a
a
keeper.
plus. That's a keeper.
No, I told her they were more of a goof and a gaff, and she
Terrible.
liked it. What else? The holidays. Lots of fun holidays with my family getting together. And what else was really interesting? I am a homeowner as of this year.
I thought
I'm
you
a
said
young
you're
man. I'm a homo too. I'm a homeowner. You heard it here first, folks. I'm coming out gay on the podcast. Nah, but for real though, I'm a homeowner. Yeah, it's just me and my brother. We got a nice 2-story suburban home. Housekeeping,
impressive.
mowing lawns, doing gardening, all that stuff. Nice, simple American living. Not to mention also, what else this year? I hit 5,000 hours on TF2
Ooh.
like 2 days ago. And in celebration of 5K hours, I treated myself to a nice Burning Flames hot rod. My favorite hat in the entire game with the highest tier effect.
Damn.
Yeah, what else this year? I still got my same old vehicle, my old Ute, the utility truck, pushing it, hauling shit, having a good old time. As I think honestly that's mostly it this year, really. It's just a nice wholesome year, occasional highs and lows, nothing too grand. What about you guys?
Do you want to go next, Potato, or do?
No, you could go.
Okay. Well, I'm new to the podcast, so this is the first time. It's pretty cool. And so my year Honestly, it's been crazy. Probably my craziest year I've ever had. It started out really bad, just because I mean I came into 2017 being really depressed, and I wasn't talking in the group chat here, the Weeb Squad chat a lot, because I was going off doing some choice things, you know, pretty druggy, and the year didn't get really good till about halfway. When was it? It was March 3rd of this year is when I started dating my girlfriend, and that's when things started turning around. So that was probably the highest point of my 2017. Really good, helped me change my life, get things back on track. Um,
That's what I like to hear, my friend.
yeah, it was pretty bad. Like the beginning of the year is honestly a blur. It's really bad, but I'm just happy I'm able to come back in the Weeb Squad chat with the boys and talk with you guys.
Hey, we're
That's-
always happy you're here too, man.
Yeah, that's what I missed. I missed doing that. I really needed that. And so that's probably out of the top five, we're saying five being the least thing you don't want to talk about. It's probably going to be beginning of 2017 when I was really harsh on a lot of bad things. And I did die. So experiencing death is pretty crazy.
Did you see Gary Coleman at the gates?
He was welcoming me with open arms.
Oh, hell
That's definitely
yeah.
a good story if you're here to tell it.
No, you're right. Pronounced legally dead for 2 minutes. So that's good.
Wait,
Got
that
that
really
out of the
happened?
way. Yes, no, completely. I'm not joking. That actually happened.
Holy shit.
I needed to pay the bills for being resuscitated.
Oh
Oof.
my
They charge you
God,
some
I
money
had
for that.
no idea that actually happened.
Yes, no, it did.
That's
That
pretty
was a
cool.
Pretty
overdose.
fucking brutal.
It's pretty brutal. And then after that, my girlfriend helped me clean up, and I helped her clean up because she was on some stuff, and we both make each other happy. I bought a sugar glider. That's cool. His name's Toby. He's my bro. We hang out, and I feed him grapes. So that's my 2017 in review.
God damn. God bless you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
My turn. Bada boom. You know how it is. And it's like I'm kind of like Nightwing, but this time I go into every situation depressed. So something has to be good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So this year, kind of like Nightwing, the beginning of the year was kind of shit, but in like late May, I started. I got my first job as a stock boy. Very exciting job. Very actually very irritating. It was pretty much really shitty, especially this year. Because this year, like you know, they have all these shitty fucking songs playing over the radio, and at the pharmacy, the songs play like all the fucking time. Like you don't understand how horrible it is to hear Despacito every 30 minutes when you're working a 8-hour shift. It's pretty
It's
traumatic.
#1 on YouTube for a reason, man. It's a good
Yeah,
song.
Despacito! Shout out Despacito!
Dude, it was
Colorito,
thrown into the
Pepsi Cola,
YouTube
y
rewind.
Sabito.
The entire YouTube rewind was Despacito.
This is my last
Yo, shout
podcast.
out Man's Not Hot. Shout out Despacito. Yo, shout out KSI.
Shout out to my boy Big Doinks.
Young
Yeah.
King Dave. Shout out.
Anyway, when I got my job, I got like money, and I got to like go to concerts. I went to 2 Mac DeMarco concerts in a row, like
Ooh.
one day after another. Those were pretty fun. I also went to a Pond concert earlier in the year, but the biggest concert I went to was Panorama, which like was the most expensive, but it took the entire day. It wasn't really a concert, but it was more a music festival. And I went there to see Tame Impala, which was okay. Not the best Tame Impala show I've been to, but the rest of the day was like pretty fun. I saw like a whole bunch of different bands, and like I went to a whole bunch of different activities. It was a very fun day. And let's see. Donated a lot of blood this year. I got a gallon of blood donated this year.
Whoa, what?
A gallon
In total?
Yeah, in total. Not like
Yo,
It's
kids
about
just be
gallon.
chugging that blood these days. Come on, wow.
That's impressive. That's really nice.
Get a reward or something?
They gave me a card.
Oh wow, big whoop. It's not like an Xbox or anything.
You could buy. They actually give you like award points every time you donate, so you probably could buy an Xbox.
Oh
Just save
shit.
that enough award points. Anyway, the biggest thing that happened this year was that I started working out, boys. You know how it
Hey,
is. I'm trying to get swole.
Swole
getting there.
Nick over
Not
here.
yet,
the
but
Chad.
you know.
Anchor arms, potato Nick.
I'm a jerk,
Now,
and everyone loves me.
how swole are you shooting for? Are you shooting for like overwhelmingly ripped,
Like
or like,
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
or are you just shooting for like the cut look, where people know you look fit, and if you flex, it shows everything, and they're like, okay.
Trying to be like fit, you know. I just want some abs.
Yeah.
That's the goal, abs. But yeah, that's pretty much it this year. It was a pretty fun year for me, pretty exciting. I did a lot of good things. Probably the most eventful year since like 2015, since I graduated high school. And overall this year, I tried to be like more social. Tried to like talk to people. I wished everyone, all of my Facebook friends, or most of my Facebook friends, Merry Christmas and stuff like that. So
It's
yeah,
pretty
fun
cool.
year.
Good stuff.
Pretty awesome.
You know, on the topic of donating blood, I actually received a blood transfusion.
Hey.
It was the donor's name was Magic Johnson. I don't know if you guys know.
No.
Classic
I mean, they said
He-Man.
it was good.
The boy you missed. Alright, I guess it's my turn then.
My
Yeah.
sister also dated him.
Alright, I guess it's my turn. Well, I had a pretty good year as well. You know, both the semesters this year in school, I got all B's in all my classes. So, you know,
Hey,
I like getting good grades. Good GPA means I could go to law
some
school
smart
easier.
boyos.
A perfect report card. All B's.
B for the boys.
And you know, I started hanging out with Roy and Cosmo, two of my best friends. I started hanging out with them a lot more, which has been nice for my mental state, so I'm not always alone. And you know, I also
completely
joined.
get it.
I
Oh,
also
okay.
joined a church group, which was very helpful, socially and spiritually. I do have to say. So I think that's been a big help. I went on a retreat with them, and that was a wonderful weekend. And I also went to Florida during the summer with my family, and that was a lot of fun. Uh, what else did I do? Oh, I got my dream unusual. After 7 years of playing Team Fortress 2, I finally got the Sunbeams cowl. I am so happy about that. You have no idea.
Congratulations.
I also played Fallout New Vegas for the first time all the way through. That was fun. I watched way too much anime to pay off that dream unusual to Ada, but it was all worth it in the end. And you know what?
Are you paid off yet?
Not yet. I still have like 5, I think. And he might get me an Aussie Islander, so I'm gonna be up another 8 or something. But yeah, overall, I've had a wonderful year, and I'm glad I get to spend it in the Weeb Squad, everybody.
Ooh, the boyos.
To the boys, cheers.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, here.
Drinking the code red.
Anyways, alright, I guess we can move on then. Wonderful year that we've all had, and I hope all our listeners have had a nice one too, and I wish them the best next year as well.
Shout out to Mobilist, most active member of the
Yeah,
podcast community.
shout out Waluigi, our other biggest fan. Love
Keeping
you,
the
buddy.
Oh
Buddy,
yeah,
strong.
Waluigi.
Can we do our next topic for the top 5 songs?
Oh yeah.
And
Alright.
also a shout out to Zam Man, the owner of Rail Bait.
Yeah, Zam Man.
Zam Man. He'll
The
test
owner
your
of
rats and
rail-baited-
euthanize them.
rail-baited servers.
Whenever you see him on another server, give him a shout out.
He loves it when you call him the owner of Railbait because, you know, it strokes his ego.
let him know he's doing a good job and listening to the fans and the players.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Great guy.
let's move on, guys. Top 5 songs, everybody. Top 5 songs. These are the best, in our opinion, best 5 songs of the year. Who wants to go first? Who up?
You know, I'll actually. Oh, no, you go ahead, Nightwing.
Okay.
You do.
Okay. For me, with the top 5 songs this year, for me, I did the ones I listened to the most. So I guess that would be my top 5. These are the ones I've played like almost 20 times in one sitting. And so they go. My number 1 song of this year is Judgment Day by Dragon Force. I think it came out this year. I'm not too sure. I needed to look more into that, but it's just a crazy song. It goes from, making you feel like you're walking through like a field to like battling dragons over in Camelot. It's really freaking cool. I love Dragon Force. They're like a power metal band, so that's like one of my favorite genres. And then my number 2 song is Phoenix by Fall Out Boy. It's just, there's something about it. It really just made me feel nice when I listened to it, and it made me feel kind of empowered and strong. And my 3rd song is Love You Madly by Cake. This is my girlfriend's favorite band, and she put this song on the mixtape that she made for me. And I don't know, it just made me feel really good. And no one's ever made me a mixtape, so it was really cool of her to do that. And then my 4th one is Congratulations by Post Malone. I don't know. I played it a lot when it first came out, and I really did like it.
It's
pretty
a
cool.
feel good song. I like it.
I do. Yeah, I like me some Post Malone. And then my number 5 song, I played this a lot too because my girlfriend, she really liked it when it came out, was Humble by Kendrick Lamar.
Sit down.
Stand up. Drank.
Yeah, those are my top 5. Those are just basically all the ones I've played a lot this year, and they'll probably normally come up in my 2018 songs. I play a lot as well. But I recommend everyone look into Dragon Force. Great band.
Oh yeah, I love. Ever since Guitar Hero 3, I like Dragon Force.
Mhm.
You know, that Through the Fire and the Flames.
It's ridiculous. They can't even get that song played right anymore. Like they recorded it perfect once and have used that recording for every time that they do a concert.
Crazy. Well, I guess I'll go now. You know, me for top 5, I don't really have anything in order, but just like Nightwing, it's more like the top 5 songs I've listened to the most this year since, I don't really listen to new music. I ain't no hipster, it's just the bands I like usually aren't together anymore. For the first one, I'm going to have Uplift by Pantera. Now, this is a thrash metal song from the 90s, and this song is about drinking and punching people in the face with no consequences. Uplift is in reference to lifting up a bottle of Jack Daniels to chug it, and then you go berserk and do whatever the hell you want. Now, the next song is Bourbon Street by Jeff Toohey. Now, this is a nice song. It's like a New Orleans swing style jazzy song, and it's about a mob boss who runs the streets of Santa Fe and Narlands and all that. All that Cajun country, gator wrestling stuff.
Yeah, get me some jambalaya.
Give me some of that jambalaya. Get in my belly. But yeah, it's like a nice swingy kind of, but it's kind of like also like dark and cool. It's a nice song. I highly suggest it. Up next, I have No Love by Death Grips. I cannot stress how many times I've blasted this chaotic mess of a song in my truck, going 44 miles per hour down a 25 street, just blasting No Love, screaming like MC Ride, just, banging my head against the fucking windshield, just going crazy. I love that song. Up next, I think, is a song that really relates to me. It's called Urban Struggle by the Vandals. Yeah, this is a punk song. What it is about like a bunch of punk rock kids going down to a roadhouse, acting like cowboys, riding mechanical bulls, and getting the shit kicked out of them, because they're just a bunch of punks thinking they're gonna have a good time, But he like hops on the mechanical bull, breaks his nose and breaks his kneecap, and he's like, "Well, I guess this just ain't for me." So it's a fun song about, trying to be a cowboy and failing miserably. And now for the last song, I was going to say Paradise City by Guns N' Roses because, I just love that song.
I really hope you say what I think you're going to say.
I'm not going to say Toto, Africa.
What?
But what I am gonna say is the Total Drama Island theme song. The I wanna be, that one. And I'll tell you why. That is the most catchy cartoon theme song in the world, and you cannot argue that.
Yu-Gi-Oh! GX opening.
I
You
don't
mean Kappa Mikey?
Kappa Mikey.
I don't know.
No.
I mean,
Oh god, for real, Total Drama Island theme song. Like
Hold
I've had
on.
that stuck in my head
I
for
gotta go
months.
play that now. I gotta see.
For months. Oh my god. So yeah, those would be my top 5. You know, they're not really in order. They're just like the 5 songs I've enjoyed most this year.
All
Oh my
right.
lord, I gotta listen to it too now. I'll listen to it while we're doing the podcast.
All right. I guess I'll go next. Mine's a little more traditional. You know, top 5 that's been released this year, and you know, it's all same genre because that's all I really listen to. But whatever. You guys know me. So I'll start at number 5 because I do actually have them ordered. Number 5, I got ASAP Mob with Wrath, featuring Lil Uzi Vert, Frank Ocean, Playboy Cardi, and Quavo. I'm shocked this song didn't take off harder than it did because this has everything needed to be like up in there with like Bad and Bougie was like at the beginning of the year. Like this song should have been everywhere. It was huge. And 2 Frank Ocean verses which were stellar, and you know, the whole gang just brings it, you know. ASAP Rocky does his thing, Uzi does his thing, Playboy does his thing. They all do. They have such good chemistry and makes this song really fun and enjoyable, which is why it's on here. Number 4, I have Smoke Perp with Audi. This is very weird for me because I'm typically the guy that listens to the more lyrically intensive stuff, but Smoke Perp is just so fun with his music, and this song I could not stop playing in the car. It was such a nice song to play. It was, you can yell, you can bang it out the trunk, you can do whatever you want with it.
Bump it in the whip.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a fun turn-up song, stuff like Lil Pump would make. I highly recommend it. Number 3,
Gucci gang.
number 3 is ASAP Ferg with the East Coast remix. This one has Busta, ASAP Rocky, Ferg, French Montana, Dave East, Rick Ross, and Snoop Dogg on it. I think I got all the names. I could be wrong. But each of them deliver this verse over this nasty beat. It's one of those beats that makes you want to like scrunch your face up, like ugh. It's just so good, and they all deliver some of their best verses of the year. Each of them, especially Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg comes in to close this thing out, and at first I was like, "Why is Snoop Dogg on the East Coast remix?" But after that verse, I can't really argue that he shouldn't be there. It was so good. They all just come through with bars, and oh. Even French Montana, people can clown that verse, but I like it. It's a good verse.
I can clown that verse.
But number 2 would be Brockhampton with Boogie. This was the lead single to Saturation 3, which just released earlier this month. And while it's the newest song here, I have not been able to stop playing it at all. The beat is chaotic, and each member of Brockhampton comes in and just, you know, it really showcases off each member's strengths, and it's so fun and chaotic and energetic. That's all I can really describe it as. It's a trip. And my final song, I guess this year I just really like posse cuts other than the Smoke Perp song, because all these have like 4 artists apiece, but my number 1 song is Joey Badass with Ring the Alarm, featuring Nick Caution, Kirk Knight, and Michi Darko. When I first heard Joey's album, which I'll talk about later, hint hint, this song stood out to me the most because it was this grimy East Coast banger that you would have heard kind of on what's that other album he had? Before the Money, and it has Nick Kasha and Kirk Knight, who were working on their project Nick at Night at the time together, and they both bounce off of each other and showcase their really good synergy here. And Michi Darko delivers this raspy hook that this whole song is just grimy to the core, and I love it. I wish
Filthy.
more artists did this sound right here today. It's hard to find stuff like that today. And I might just not be looking hard enough, but whatever. I wish more popular artists did stuff like this. This was a nice ride, and I love that song. It's probably my most played this year that came out this year. But yeah.
Okay.
Honorable mentions are Joyner Lucas with FYM. Joyner's upcoming, and I think he's good. Danger Mouse with Chase Me featuring Run the Jewels and Big Boy. Great song, Grammy nom. Good. It's on the Baby Driver soundtrack. And Trippy Red with Whoa Whoa Whoa, which is a fun, dumb song that I don't know why I like it, but it's so fun. So. Yeah, those are my picks, and Nick, I'll pass the torch to you, I guess.
Okay. My I have from like worst to best, I guess. My first song is Django Django with Tic Tac Toe. I really like this song. It's like very catchy. It's a mix of what Django Django does best and like something new. I can't really describe it. I think it's just like, catchy. My next song is LA Wise Man with All I Want for Christmas is Rock and Roll. It's weird that I'm putting a Christmas song on here, but you know, I think it's a very nice song, like just for like the times or like all times. I think it's just a really nice song that LA did. My next song is Tame Impala with List of People off their new like B-sides records. This song is like very like hard because like I like the other like songs that are on like the B-sides, but I think the song like shines out most. It like fits the theme of like the album that came out 2 years prior. I really like it. Next song is The Weather by Pond. This song is like really nice. Like it kind of like has like you have to like listen to the entire album for like context. But I think it's a really good album. Like just like really good song just on its own. Sorry. And my favorite song of the year is Mac DeMarco with Watching Him Fade Away. It's a very beautiful song about Mac DeMarco's dad, and I think it's very nice. It's nice seeing Mac DeMarco get like a little like emotional with the songs because he usually never does it. It's usually like happy-go-lucky guy. But I like this version of Mac DeMarco, and those are my songs.
Hell yeah, boy.
I like them.
Fantastic list from all of us, if I do say so myself.
Total drama island.
Very wide selection of genres we have going on here.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what I like about this podcast. We got a little bit of everything.
it's not as stacked as it was because before it was just kind of me and Xenon patting each other on our back with yeah, I like rap music.
Hippity hops.
but now we have more of a balance now. I think we have a good
I think
we
we
have a good mix.
cover the whole spectrum except for like death metal and country.
Oh, I got
He-Man
death metal
can-
and country.
Yeah, He-Man can fill
I
those
can
eventually.
do both.
Okay.
Anyways, I digress. All right. Next up is albums. Little disclaimer to to y'all. Some of us don't have albums or movies or whatever to share. So in lieu of those, we're gonna let the people share their top 5 memes
so stupid.
Oh, wait, we could have done that. I didn't make that list. Damn it! Oh, I'm gonna come. That'll be the fly
just
thing right there.
just do it off your head. It's memes. You can't. There's
Yeah.
no wrong answer.
You're right. You're right.
No one's
It's
gonna
all in-
hate you for
it's in
you
the
know
noggin.
really liking that Arthur Fist meme.
An Arthur Fist.
When people don't like your Arthur Fist memes.
Anyway, let's go into albums. You want to do it in reverse order the last time? So Nick starts us off.
Sure, I'll start it off.
All right.
Number 5 of my album is Humans by Gorillaz. I don't like this album. I just kind of put it on this list so I can make fun of it. It's very mediocre. On a bad day, I'd say that it's a pretty shitty album, but that's on a bad day. Not really much to say. I just don't like the variety of like songs they put on this album. Very like bland. So, but I did listen to it this year, so I guess it counts. Next, we have Ween with Chocolate and Cheese. This album didn't come out this year, but I listened to it this year, so that counts. Yeah. This album's like really nice. I think it's probably my favorite Ween album I listened to. A lot of good songs on here, like Baby Bitch and Dina was talking about are my favorite songs on this album. And it's like classic Ween, like great Ween songs on here. Really great album. Number 3 would be the Tame Impala Currents B-sides. Tame Impala released an album 2 years ago called Currents, and this year they released the B-sides to the Currents. So the Currents, the B-sides were Taxis Here, List of People, which I've talked about previously, and Power Lines. I liked all these songs. I like Taxi like kind of the most, but List I also like the most as well. The thing with Tame Impala songs is that I listen to the album, then I like the songs more and more and more as I've listened to. So like I first like Taxi most, but now I kind of like List most. Very.
I know how you
strange.
feel. That happens a lot with me.
Right. The second album, my second album of the year is Pond with Weather. If you understand, Weather was my song. I list Weather as a song, but Weather is also the name of the album, so don't be confused. It's a really great album. I think Pond is trying to solidify this new sound that got going on from their last album, Man, It Feels Like Space Again. It's really nice album, like really like politically motivated, but not in your face, aka the only way to do a politically motivated album. And great songs on here. Like always, the last song is a bit more of a kicker, a more beautiful song.
Are you saying that Eminem was in the wrong by punching us in the face with politics, Nick?
No, Eminem's a lyrical genius.
No!
I don't know if you heard of his
Rap
new album.
God, he wrote a song about it.
No!
He's
He
the
labeled
rap
himself.
guy.
Come
I'm
on.
just saying, you know. Anyway, my favorite album of the year has to be Mac DeMarco with This Old Dog. This is probably Mac DeMarco's one of his best work, if not his best work. The song like circles around like the idea that Mac DeMarco's father is like getting sick, and that someday like Mac DeMarco's father is gonna die, and like Mac DeMarco always keeps a theme of like people around him, like his loved ones, like his girlfriend and his mom and his dad, and I think I can relate to that, you know. So yeah, this is a really great album. A lot of good like solid Mac songs on here, and yeah, Mac DeMarco continues to impress as the indie king, the king of indie rock music, self-proclaimed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
That's pretty good.
Great
That's a pretty
year.
good list.
Great year for music for me. But for Gorillaz, that sucked.
I guess I'll go next.
Yeah, we'll get the albums out of the way, and then we'll talk about memes.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right. Number 5, I got my man. in my top 5 rappers list, Freddie Gibbs with "You Only Live Twice." This album is very introspective about how he needs to break away from the things that are holding him back from being a good parent, and it's very reflective because he either wrote or thought of most of this album while he was in prison in Austria. For those that don't know, he was falsely accused of rape and was extradited to Austria, where he had to stay there in a German prison with only German books to read. He touches on this in the album, and he knows he didn't do it, and he only got in this situation because of the people he hangs around. So he's very reflective, very introspective all throughout this album, and he just delivers it over these hard-hitting beats, these nice flows, nice lyrics, just everything you could want from Freddie Gibbs is on this thing. And it's not a long project either, so you don't have to set out a whole day to listen to this thing. And it's a very, very good listen, all through and through. Number 4, I have Vince Staples with Big Fish Theory. This album is very weird because Vince Staples did kind of like a 180 from what I was expecting from him. His first 2 projects were kind of more traditional West Coast hip hop, where he'd rap about the streets and over these kind of almost boom bap-esque beats. But this time he does that. He raps about the streets and whatnot over these electronic beats that are so weird and out there that it just makes the whole album very fascinating, with not only what he's saying but also the production as well. And all the songs are very high energy and have a wonderful message to them that you could go into detail on each song and pinpoint things that he's talking about. But fantastic album, very experimental, and in my opinion, it worked out. I know other people don't really care for this album, but I've been playing lots of songs off this, and especially Bag Back and Yeah Right.
I saw Vince Staples at Panorama. He played there.
I bet that was fun if he played anything off this, because these are all high energy stuff. So
a whole bunch of white people were dancing, and I cringed.
Number 3, I have Kendrick Lamar with Damn. This album came out Good Friday, and I'll never forget it because I was kind of upset with myself that I was placing such a higher importance on this album rather than Easter. But whatever, this is a good album. It's that good. But Kendrick can't do wrong. I'm convinced of it now. At first I thought the album was kind of underwhelming, but this album grew on me, and I'd probably put it right there next to Good Kid, Mad City now. Definitely not touching To Pimp a Butterfly, in my opinion. That's one of my top 5 favorite albums of all time. But this album is so good, and I don't know. He can't do wrong. Like I said, he does this perfect job of blending mainstream appeal, political message, and lyricism, and he's not afraid to take risks either, even though he's in this limelight, and it shows. This album is fantastic, and you can play it in reverse because that's a thing apparently. Next up, I have my man Big Crit with Forever Is a Mighty Long Time. This is a southern hip-hop album through and through. This is the album I wanted to hear from Big Crit back when Cadillactica dropped. But it didn't drop then because of Def Jam. He separated from Def Jam, and now he releases this project, which is fantastic. There's not a bad song on here. Every song, the first half is very, high energy, in your face. The second half is more introspective. This is who I am. And every song on here is fantastic. I could listen to this album so many times and it won't get old because each song is that good. There's not a dud on here. And Big Crit, if Big Crit continues to put out stuff like this, he'll have a wonderful career, and I'm honestly excited. Um, and finally, number one, like I said before, this album cannot. I don't know why I like it so much. People don't like it as much as I do, but it is my favorite of the year.
Revival.
Yeah, no, get that garbage out of here.
God.
Joey Badass, All American Badass. This is Joey. He's being political and he's being blunt, which Nick said that he doesn't like it when it's in your face, but here it doesn't feel like it's in your face, even though it is. And he does this really good job of making each song political, yes, but very artistic as well. And you go through a range of emotions listening to this thing. And while, yes, it is very surface level, yes, he doesn't go into detail about most of these issues, he basically puts it on the plate, says, this is where we're at right now. This is the time and place that I'm living right now. And altogether, the way he portrays that, Joey is a modern day lyricist. He's one of the best of the current generation of rappers, in my opinion. I mean, he's held his own against Kendrick. He's held his own against whoever the heck you want to. Big Crit, even. Joey does not disappoint on this, and this is honestly, it's not only my favorite, but it's also my most played album this year, for sure. And that's my top 5. I can pass it to, I think, He-Man now.
Alrighty.
Wait, are we in the meme category now?
Yeah, because I'm not the type of guy to really listen to full albums and stuff like that. So I don't have top 5 albums, but I do have my top 5 memes.
Ooh, it's gonna get spicy.
Alrighty. Now these aren't really in any order. My first meme I'm going to start off with is "Hey Beater."
Hey Beater.
Hey
Beater.
Now I'm sure you guys know about the classic "Hey Beater, yes Elmo, spell whomstuff, holy crap," that whole thing. But I like how people just took the beater to the extreme. In the whole bee emoji meme just evolving into a huge culture for such a short but blissful time.
I still do it. Just putting B in front of every word is pretty hard.
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh! It's an instant classic.
I mean,
Don't you mean a blastic?
A blastic. But also then just the whole Family Guy, and even in the Weep Squad, the whole "our dog Brian Griffin is dead" is like a meme within our call. So it's just
good wholesome meme.
Beater, Family Guy.
That's right.
Great.
Our dog Brian Griffin is dead.
Brian Griffin. Also, piggybacking off Beater would also just be just deep fried memes in general. Things that are heavily filtered, lots of emojis that ghetto people would use, just all filtered together with just broken English all over the place, just great brainless humor memes. Those are the ones that get me every time, when something's just overly filtered, overly loud, just bass. It's like a bass boosted pair of Tims. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. And now also piggybacking off that, this is just one picture that kind of gets me every time, and that is Soup Time.
Oh, I was gonna talk about Soup Time, damn it.
Soup Time.
Yeah, I'll leave Soup Time for you to explain, because I'm sure you'll explain it better than I can.
I will explain Soup Time.
But I'm just saying, Soup Time is a great picture that gets me every time I see it. Now, all right, for another one, I just in general, I just said black people, but that's not the meme. The meme is, it's like I see them on Instagram all the time. They'd take pictures of it'd be like a video montage of people fighting and like cartoon clips, people dancing all mashed together, distorted with bass boosted rap music and just things fitting together.
I like when they put anime openings over it. You'll have a group.
Just like a montage of ghetto shit with bass boosted music.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my favorite types of memes. There's a lot of obnoxious ones.
Mm-hmm.
And for number 5, this year I've watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and read some of the mangas. So JoJo memes in general.
You like them
It's like,
JoJo references?
oh my god. Not just that, but like just everything, like the fan art, it's all hilarious.
Mhm.
It's just the whole JoJo culture and the memes they make, I just find super entertaining. But yeah, other than that, all right, Nightwing, you talk about your memes, my
All
man.
right, boyos, I got another top 5 memes for you. I also don't like listen to a full album. It's just not my shtick. I apologize for that, but I've got some spicy memes here for you. Now, my top number one meme of this year. It got really popular, and the reason I like it, okay, it's the shooting star meme. That whole thing, that was really funny. Like when I first found it, it's the first one where the guy jumps into the river. Like everyone's like, "Don't do it." He jumps into the river, and then it does the whole shooting star meme thing and everything. I always watched all of them when I was really high. So I vividly remember laughing my ass off with my friends. And the reason I like it is because it got me into the band Bag Raiders. That's the band behind the song Shooting Stars, and they have ridiculously amazing, like euphoric sounding songs. I should have put them on my top songs list, but I forgot to. And that's why I like the Shooting Star meme the most, because that's like the first meme I remember watching in 2017. And then number 2 is going to be Soup Time. Soup Time is beautiful. It's literally just a frog standing on its hind legs running towards a bowl of soup, and the picture's distorted, and it's just beautiful. It's the perfect response reaction to anything. Someone asks you a
Soup
question.
time.
Yeah, someone asks you a question, you go, soup time. This is it. All right, that's 2. My number 3. Oh, what was number 3? Man, I forgot. There's so many memes that were going on this year. Just 2017 in general was a big meme. Like, I'm kind of lost with my memes right now. I think we're gonna call it on that one for my list.
A good enough list. All right. Let's move along then to our last top 5 list. The top 5 movies. We're going to say top 5 media of 2017 because I think Nick has a bunch of TV shows instead of movies. So I'm going to actually start us off here,
Ooh, okay.
Mix it up. Number 5, I'm going to put Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Oh, yes.
Very
really
funny, very actiony, kinda at certain parts.
I cried.
It wasn't as good as the first one, but you got to see a lot more character development than the first one. That's for sure.
I think a lot of people were disappointed with the soundtrack.
Yeah, I can see why it wasn't as in your face, haha, 80s or whatever. But I still liked it. It was a good movie, very solid film, and I would watch it again.
I cried at the end.
That's fair. All right, number 4 is Wonder Woman. I saw this with my brother, and in Florida, I think. Yeah, in Florida, and Wonder Woman. This is the first time DC has gotten one right since The Dark Knight. Like, they portrayed Wonder Woman exactly how she should be portrayed, and did it in a fashion that was very entertaining. Unlike some movies, Batman v Superman. But
The entirety of the DC universe.
They didn't even try with that movie.
freaking what's his name? Jesse Eisenberg. What the heck? Who
Why
thought of
is he
that?
Lex Luthor?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that made me platinum mad.
They should have took the Lex Luthor from Smallsville. Did anyone here watch Smallsville back in the day?
I did not.
Dude, you need to pick that show up. It's really bad, but it's it had a great Lex Luthor.
Anyways, Wonder Woman, very solid. We'll probably never get a DC movie like it ever again because DC sucks. But number 3, Hey Arnold, the Jungle movie. This is about this is the return of Hey Arnold, the old cartoon that aired back in the day. That they finally made this movie where he gets to find his parents, and it's very very nostalgic, but very good. I do have to say, I was very pleasantly surprised with how true to the original it stayed, and it didn't pander to a modern audience. It knew its target demographic was the people that used to watch it and kept to that strength. So I really liked it. Number two, Get Out. I saw this with Ada, and Ada actually really liked this movie too, which he says is surprising because he doesn't like movies. But this is it's by Jordan Peele, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Peele, not Keegan.
One of the Key and Peele guys.
Yeah, Peele. Jordan Peele
directed
this, and this movie it's just, how do I describe this? It's a thriller. That's all I can say.
It's psychological thriller.
It gets your blood pumping. You feel angry for the character's situation, and it's just, I didn't know what to expect, and I walked away really liking it. This is one of
Did you notice the scene when he was in the chair and how he got out? Did you notice the reference?
I did not.
Whenever he was in the leather chair and he escaped the psychology, the psychosis hypnosis stuff, he picked the chair and stuffed his ears with cotton.
Yeah.
So it was a reference to it was like a reference to cotton saved him. I watched the video about the director, and he directly put that in there.
Huh.
It was.
Anyways, yeah, Get Out, a fantastic movie. Highly recommend it. And the number one movie of this year is The Disaster Artist. We here at the Weeb Squad podcast,
I wasn't able to see it.
We here at the Weeb Squad podcast, we love The Room through and through.
Yeah.
Great movie. Nick's best friends with Tommy Wiseau, of course.
Yeah, we made out.
Yeah.
Next question.
But this movie very accurately portrayed not only Tommy and Greg's story and how the room came about in a very comedic way, but it did also show how hard the entertainment industry is, and how it's a cutthroat industry where if you try to do something your way, you're going to get slapped in the face. And overall, it was just such an enjoyable experience to see such a bizarre work of art that Tommy Wiseau created, deconstructed in this way that you could just see what happens. And James Franco and Seth Rogen and the whole cast, actually,
Dave Franco, his brother.
The whole cast, they did a fantastic job playing these characters, and even at the end, the end credits. This isn't a spoiler, so you don't have to worry. But they show side by side comparisons of scenes that they recorded to use in the film and the actual movie, and most of them were dead on. It was scary how accurate these were, but. Again, fantastic movie. As a fan of The Room and as a fan of James Franco and Seth Rogen, whatever they put out is usually top notch. So, again, highly recommend it, The Disaster Artist, and that's my top 5 movies.
It's pretty good.
Nice.
I agree with that. Could I take it off next?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna my top 5 movies. I'm a avid moviegoer. I like going to see movies a lot, and I do tend to critique them. So my number 5 movie of this year is Justice League. I'm putting it low just because I went in with really low expectations just because of their track record. I didn't see Wonder Woman. I guess I need to go watch that because everyone said it's really good. Wonder Woman is a character. I don't like her. They don't get her right in the comics or in the movies. But Justice League, they stepped it up. They learned from their mistakes with Batman v Superman, and they made it more laughable. So in this movie, you're honestly gonna laugh more than be like, oh, this is depressing. Everyone's dying, and it was cool. They had a lot of surprises that people expected to see, and some hints at other things. I guess we're not going to go into spoiler territories, but just I loved the flashback scene they had. There was a flashback scene in Justice League, and it just set up a whole more bunch of the DC universe that I'm ready for them to do, and I hope that they get right. So top number 5, Justice League, and my number 4 is Guardian of the Galaxies Volume 2, just because I saw that with my girlfriend, and we both liked it. She likes music, and I do too. So the soundtrack, I was okay with it. And I like seeing all the Marvel movies just so I'm ready for when Infinity War comes out, because Marvel is doing really good with their cinematic universe. So I like supporting that and keeping that going. So that was pretty good. My number 3 was Alien Covenant, the new Alien movie, just because I started getting more into the franchise of Alien vs Predator. Because my girlfriend, again, she loves the Alien franchise, so I wanted to get more into it, and I watched Prometheus. And I like the world it's set up, so I wanted to see Covenant, and a lot of surprises. I went in without any spoilers, not seeing any trailer or anything, and I was really excited to see what they were doing with like the birth of the xenomorph, and that was really cool how they did it and set up like the cyborgs and all there. That was cool. Really excited for the next Alien movie that they're going to be putting in the works. So that's number 3. And my number 2 movie.
Head looks like a dildo. Just want to say that.
My number 2 movie is Jumanji. This just came out, and I went and saw it. I think last week. Yeah. I went and saw Jumanji, and it wasn't a reboot. Actually, it was a continuation, which is pretty cool. Like, they didn't reboot the series. I liked how they did it. They just kept moving it on with the new times and all that. Dwayne and Kevin Hart, honestly, a perfect combination in movies. They hit it off with their comedy they do with each other, and I really love it. Really funny. A lot of people laughed in the theater. I did too. And adding Jack Black to the roster was really cool. He did a great job portraying a teenage girl trapped in the body of a man. So there's a lot of good scenes of Jack Black just acting very feminine, and you'll laugh your ass off. It was just beautiful.
That sounds pretty funny.
And my top movie of this year, probably on my top list of movies I will always love, is Baby Driver. Baby Driver was so out of left field, winning indie film movie awards. It was in the Sundance Festival. No one saw it coming to real theaters, and it did. It was beautiful. The soundtrack is amazing. I listen to the soundtrack every day. I have multiple Baby Driver shirts. I think all the actors in that movie did great, and it was just, oh my god, instant classic. Like, everyone needs to see Baby Driver. I love this movie. I didn't find anything wrong with this movie. Like, it hit all the points of a good movie to keep you captivated and watch multiple times. Top Baby Driver's top movie of the year for me.
I like both when he voices the baby, right?
All right, I guess I'll go next. I apologize if I have to stop because my nose is kind of acting up. I was at my girl's house, and she has a lot of cats, and I'm allergic, and I'm feeling the aftermath now.
You're allergic to that pussy?
Oh, God.
Allergic to pussy? Huh?
Right.
I mean, he did come out earlier this episode, so...
You are right.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, guess for 2017, I saw a few movies, and I didn't like all of them, so I'm going to give some good reviews and some bad reviews on movies. First movie I'm going to do is Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Now, this was a movie I loved. In fact, I think I even liked it better than the first movie.
Huh.
Like, Guardians 2 had a great soundtrack. The scene with Yanu and Rocket rocking around with like his upgraded mohawk. How they're just
okay, that one was so cool. I gotta agree.
That was my favorite scene. Oh my god. But yeah, Guardians 2, great movie. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Woo! Excuse me there.
God bless.
Thank you. Another great movie was Baby Driver. I saw that too. My only problem with Baby Driver is that it felt like kind of a rehash of Drive with Ryan Gosling. Like, I know it's like, they're both, criminal getaway drivers, but there's just way too many similarities between the two characters and the whole
Wasn't it
story.
supposed to, like, drive direction from that movie? Like, isn't it supposed to draw a lot from it?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's just Hollywood's running out of
Mhm.
ideas, whatever. But I mean, it's still a good movie. It's just Drive did it first. It's like The Simpsons with everything else.
The
So yeah,
Simpsons?
The Simpsons. But
Simpsons
yeah.
did it.
Now on to some negative reviews, to be honest, because I'm very picky when it comes to the movies and whatnot. So the movie I'm gonna pick is Atomic Blonde.
Ooh,
Now,
I forgot I
yeah,
saw
yeah.
that.
Here's the thing about Atomic Blonde. I think Atomic Blonde has some of the best choreographed fighting I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you know how most movies, how it's like the protagonist, beats up all the bad guys and gets away without a scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Not at Atomic Blonde. They hit the realism because she's a woman protagonist,
Mhm.
so she gets the fucking shit kicked out of her in some fight scenes, and it is almost painful to watch how they fight. Like putting key rings in each other's fists and punching each other. She takes off her heel to like jab people in the throat. Like it is like some of the fight scenes are insane in that movie.
I liked watching the interview where she said that she had to buy people drinks because she hurt them during the choreography. Like,
Oh yeah,
she did not pull her
it is
punches,
insane.
and she was like, "Oh,
It is,
I'll take you
yeah.
out for a drink. I'm sorry."
But yeah, like the whole scene in the stairwell of the apartment or whatever when they're trying to protect the guy from getting assassinated. Holy shit, those fight scenes were intense. But the whole movie, as good as those fight scenes were, the whole movie was fucking ruined by the garbage storyline. The story
It
was
did become really
garbage.
cliche at the end.
Oh my god, it was garbage. It was very slow paced. You lose track because it's like hopping between the past, present, and future a whole bunch of times, so it's hard to keep track of what's going on. So all the cool, the best choreographed fighting I've ever seen, just hands down goes to Atomic Blonde, but it all just gets thrown away by the horrible movie. Uh, so yeah, I hate to say it, but Atomic Blonde wasn't good for me because of just how it got ruined by the story.
Did you see the Kingsman Golden Circle, the second one?
Oh, I did.
I forgot to talk
I'll
about that.
throw that in.
Did
That
you?
was
I
amazing.
should have thrown that one in. Did you like the
That was
choreograph in that one? That was
good. Oh
those
my
fight scenes
God.
were
I
really
never
good.
got to see it. I really want to.
You need to see this movie.
Yeah,
The first
it's
one was
good.
one of my favorite movies, and I forgot to talk about the second one. It's probably because it definitely felt like the typical sequel movie.
Yeah, it does.
But
I do have a problem with that movie though. I mean, this is more of a personal thing.
Mhm.
I really like the character Tequila.
You
The
like
young
Channing
guy with
Tatum?
the
Yeah.
him with the lever action gun. He wasn't in the movie at all. He had like one scene, then they kicked him out.
I think
Because
because
he was filming another movie at the
yeah,
time.
but he
That's
really
why. But
wanted to
still,
be in
I
that
would have loved
movie.
to see his character, man. He had such a cool character, and I was bummed out. Excuse me, where they didn't include him a whole bunch.
I agree because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he loved the first Kingsman, and when they approached him to be in this one, he was really
Oh my
excited.
god.
But he signed another really big movie deal, so he was only able to do a couple parts.
Yeah, I know. I
So
was really
it's kinda
bummed out
sucked.
about that. Another movie, The Wall. Now, this isn't Pink Floyd's The Wall. This movie is about two American snipers pinned down behind a wall in Iraq. That's all it is. Just one guy pinned down by a sniper, and they're communicating through a broken telephone. And I went to go see this movie with my girlfriend at the time, who was super right wing, military gun toting family. So she loved it. I thought it was the worst fucking movie I've ever seen in my life. Boring, super boring. It literally takes place behind a wall in a desert. That's the whole movie. It's just, oh god, it was so boring. Another movie I saw with her was American Assassin. I thought that movie was okay. I mean, it's just another, American propaganda
Very
movie,
American cliche action movie.
Yeah, just for a target, target audience, right-wing military families, woohoo, go America, punch terrorists.
They
in the
kind of
dick,
had me at the
have fun.
beginning. At the beginning of the movie, they really had me. Like, I was like, "Oh, this
Oh
could
yeah,
be
that
could be really
was
cool.
crazy.
This could be really crazy." But then, I didn't like
I
where they
think
went with it.
I lost interest in the movie when they had the scene when they were doing the training with like the VR headsets, and it's like
Mhm.
he'd have like the guy come up, he shoot him. It's like, hey, that's not your target. You get shocked. You know that scene.
And he kept just shooting him.
Yeah, I kind of lost my interest in the movie when that scene came up. I was like, all right, it's gonna be one of these things. What else am I gonna talk about? Looking at my list here. You guys all talked about Wonder Woman. I guess I'll talk about. I'll give my opinion on Wonder Woman and hand it off to the next person. For Wonder Woman, I kind of hated it.
Oh no!
Like, hear me out. You know, in the beginning scene where the Germans, they find the island. Where the hell did the big battleships go? Why didn't the big ass battleships come through also? Why did only the little U-boats come in? I mean, come on.
Maybe they were trying to do like the whole peace thing, where like just
Nah,
uninhabited.
those battleships would have came in and nuked the entire island. They all would have died. Also, just a bunch of plot holes. I know I'm picky about
I mean,
that
Wonder
shit.
Woman's character is just so shitty. Like in the comics too. Like they always make her unlikable.
I just think there's just so many plot holes in the film, and also the whole, the one German general being built up as this big bad guy villain, like snorting that blue liquid or whatever. He literally gets killed in 2 seconds. The fight between him sucks, and it's just like, oh, I was the bad guy this whole time. Here I come flying in with a helmet with horns on. That kind of really pissed me off. I was like, okay, so he was an Ares, but really you're gonna build this guy up to be such a badass villain and literally kill him in 2 seconds, not even putting up a fight. Like, he didn't even put up a good fight. Wonder Woman literally lassoed his ankle and stabbed him.
Mm.
And like, I was like, that was fucking it. Then this guy flies in and he was the bad guy the whole time. It was fucking bullshit. And I did not enjoy that movie at all.
Are we able to talk about like other media than just movies? Is that what you said?
Oh,
Tyler?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can.
I,
But I
want,
mean, I don't watch TV or anything, so
I was on
yeah.
Netflix a lot. I'm sorry, Potato. I know you want to do your list. Is it okay if I throw in another one?
No, that's cool.
Okay. Well, I mean, we can spin off and just talk about anything with these media because
Yeah, also, I'm done with my segment, by the way.
hold on, my things were. I really liked The Punisher. I think Marvel's Netflix team did amazing with the Punisher series. The fight scenes and everything in this, they made you feel for Frank Castle, and I really I binged it the entire time. As soon as I started episode 1, I could not put it down. Like I stopped everything I was doing to watch this show because I just kept wanting to see what they were going to do to Frank Castle. I thought they did a really good job with that. That's what I'm going to say about that. You can go now, Potato. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, I haven't watched a movie in theaters in like 9 years, so I don't have any lists for movies. But I do have lists for TV shows. So my number 5 TV show I watched this year was The Simpsons, the new season of The Simpsons. The later seasons of The Simpsons are all shit, but I kind of like this season. I watch The Simpsons while I work out. It's like on a TV, like in front of me, like while I'm like running on a treadmill or doing something like that. And I think this season of The Simpsons had like some funny episodes. Like the Game of Thrones episode, that's pretty funny. And the Sideshow Bob episode was also pretty good. Other than that, pretty solid season.
I need to pick The Simpsons up again. I stopped watching.
How dare you drop the Simpsons?
Like he said, the newer seasons got really bad.
Yeah, true.
Number 4 will have to be Rick and Morty season 3. This season of Rick and Morty was it's kind of shitty, kind of really
kind of low tier,
not good, and kind of the worst season. There are a couple of like really good episodes, like the Rickopolis episode and like the World Ender episode is kind of funny. But this season of Rick and Morty was a bit lackluster, but it still had that Rick and Morty charm that the other seasons had. So that's cool too. Number 3 would have to be Stranger Things 2.
Ooh, I forgot to talk about that. That's such a good season.
I'm not really I don't like see the big deal about Stranger Things. I think they're like great like TV like season like TV shows.
I think it's because people are just so like these days, millennials and everything, we're so diehard on nostalgia that anything that comes out based in the
Yeah.
50s or like 80s or just not our time, we are gonna love.
Yeah, but I think it's a great show. I think this is a like, great season. I like the new characters they added and like the stereotypes they try to break.
Hmm.
But yeah, I just don't see the hype. But I think this is a really good season. If you like take away all the hype from it, I think this is a really solid like show. Can't wait
Hmm.
for the third season. And they fucked the big shadow monster in the ass.
I didn't like when they did the whole part where she went off and found the other psychic and
Yeah,
she
that
like
was the
became
worst.
edgy for like 2
Oh
episodes.
my god,
I
that
didn't
was
like
the
that.
worst.
I was like, this is completely useless.
Yeah. Number two would have to be Black Mirror. Technically, a season of Black Mirror didn't air this year, but by the time this episode goes up, there'll be like one episode of Black Mirror and like the new season out by like the 29th. So technically it counts. Um I first saw like Black Mirror when like my English teacher showed me like a episode of Black Mirror for like our finals. It was like really cool, and I got kind of interested, and I just started watching it. It's really like interesting show. It's kind of like the Twilight Zone, but like modern day technology and like futuristic technology. So like very like has like very deep themes of like technologies taking control of our lives and stuff. It's a very interesting show. I highly recommend it if you have a Netflix. Uh, yeah, it's really like fucked up too. The first episode, a guy fucks a pig.
Oh,
It's really funny. Uh, anyway, really great show. Highly recommend it. New season coming out soon, I guess, like in a couple days. I think the season 4 starts. And last but not least, my favorite show of the year had to be Samurai Jack. This season was great. The
I still
final
haven't watched
season
it.
of
Was it good?
Samurai Jack. It's really good. A lot of people don't like the ending, but I think it's great. Um, this season of Samurai Jack was very dark. It aired on Adult Swim. There's blood. Um, more like it's not robot blood, but human blood, which is a big deal this time. And a lot of like funny episodes. It's very funny, like very deep, like very dark as well. You see Jack start to lose it. You see him start to like lose hope, and then you see him start to gain hope. We finally get to see like the ending of Samurai
Mhm.
Jack we all hoped for. So great season, Samurai Jack. I can't. Well, I guess I was gonna say I can't wait for the next season, but it's over now. Feels
Mhm.
bad. Anyway, pretty fun TV.
There was a lot of good TV
series
shows this year. A lot of good shows that came out. Can we talk about the new season of BoJack Horseman
Oh,
and and and, and
Yeah.
how that ending actually was happy and not depressing?
dude, I love Radiohead.
I really like this season of BoJack. It was pretty good. And
I felt like it filled a lot of holes.
yeah, I do also agree with Potato Nick's sentiment on the Rick and Morty season. You know,
I agree.
very lackluster all around and whatnot.
You know, if we're on the topic of cartoons right now, I actually like Big Mouth.
Oh no.
I get
Hear,
that.
hear me out.
I laugh a lot at it.
It is very crude, very vulgar, but it's also relatable to the point that it's super cringeworthy because we all went through puberty and we all went to middle school. And I think the way how the hormone monsters represent everything it's super relatable that it's so cringy, but you can't help but like just laugh at it.
When he makes them jack off to the clock hand, it's hilarious.
Oh my god.
You look at that clock, but my friend's right here. You do it.
I like the scene where like he's getting prepared to, wank it, and all the images are going through his mind, then the tomato shows up and he blows his load and the
He goes,
monster's like he's like, oh, so the juicy tomato did it this time. It's just like I fucking lost it. But yeah,
I haven't
honestly,
finished
like,
it yet.
oh god, I haven't finished it either. I have like a few episodes left, but so far what I'm seeing, I actually enjoyed Big Mouth and I recommend it. But here's the thing about it. I mean, I recommend it over this podcast, but if you when you watch this, only recommend this show to people you really trust.
Yes.
You know, because like it is very vulgar, you know, whatever. But yeah, that's
Very,
what
very
that's my
fond of
opinion on Big
nudity.
Mouth.
There's nudity.
Oh
and
yeah, there
choice
is.
nudity.
Very, very.
I don't like the animation. I think it looks gross.
The animation is actually very gross, and it represents the grossness of the show.
I like animations where people are happy and Rick shoots someone in the face and says Bazinga.
All right, guys. Well, those are our top 5 lists of the year. Little year-end recap. Thanks again for watching, and we're gonna try to do these weekly again. So stay tuned for next week. And thanks again for supporting us. Love you all.
We'll see y'all next week.
Alrighty.
See you next year.
See you in 2018.
Alright, see you next year.
Let's hope the robots don't take over, and we all live to see next year. Okay.
Trump 2018.
Oh no.